you always want to wash your hands, and in between your fingers and underneath your nails. You want to make sure that you get any dirt or bacteria, everything off. Always turn off the water, either with your elbow or your towel. You can reach over with your paper towel or your hand towel. Okay, so now that we've washed our hands, we're ready to get started. Amelia has shared with you our recipe. So welcome to my kitchen. Today we're going to be cooking chicken fajitas. So this is a great summer dish. It's light, it's got a lot of vegetables. We're gonna eat some chicken breast. We have a little onions. We're gonna put it in a corn tortilla. And this recipe goes pretty quick. So first we'll start with the pepper. This is a red pepper. You may know they come in other colors. They come in green, orange, yellow. All these peppers, and if you can see here, we have the yellow I've already cut, and the orange. These peppers all come from the same type of plant. First, they start to grow, and they're green. So you may have eaten green peppers before. They're crisp, and they may be a little tart. The next color the peppers turn, if they remain on the plant in the sun, is they'll turn red. And the red peppers are the peak of ripeness. So when you eat a red pepper, it's sweet, it's still firm, so it doesn't get soft like a peach when it ripens. It stays firm, but the color changes. And as the color changes, the nutrients change. So we have the green pepper, which is nutritious, has fiber, has a little vitamin C, a little vitamin A. When we get to the red stage, 400 times more vitamin C and much more, twice as much vitamin A. As we go from red, the next color we go to would be orange. So the orange is not quite as nutritious. And then we have the yellow, which is more vitamin A and C than the green pepper, which is a little immature, but not as much as the red pepper. So today we're going to cook with our peppers. We're also going to cook with an onion. But before we move on, I'm going to show you how I like to cut my peppers. I always cut around the stem at the top. When you're choosing your peppers in the grocery store, we like a firm pepper. We like for the stem to be a deep green, and it's not pulling away and it's not shriveled. So this is a pretty healthy pepper. I cut that. I'm going to pull out the seeds. Throw them right down there. I always shake out the seeds. Always going to take out those seeds. If you are really interested in growing your own pepper plants, you could dry these seeds and then plant them outside. So I'm going to just cut the pepper. It's firm. So this is the white membrane. I'm going to take some of that off because it's a little soft. And that's where the seeds attach. So I'm going to cut that off. I'm going to shake out those seeds. And there we go. We're not going to eat the seeds. We're not going to do anything with those. What I'll do probably is put them in my composter. So here I'm going to just continue to clean off this pepper. Get those seeds out. And that was pretty simple. Shake them out. And there we go. Okay, one little remaining seed, and that's that. Okay. So I'm just going to slice my pepper. And then we're going to begin to saute. So the peppers are really a great source of nutrients. We talked about the vitamin A and the vitamin C, and those are important because the vitamin C helps to keep our skin healthy. The vitamin A is good for our vision. We have fiber, which is important for our bowel health. It's important to stabilize our glucose levels. If anyone is diabetic or pre-diabetic, we want to have a lot of fiber. Fiber helps us to lose weight. It keeps us feeling full. So fiber is really important in our diet. So we want to make sure we always get our fruits and vegetables in. And one reason I love to make fajitas is it's got a lot of vegetables. So we've gotten those peppers sliced up. Now we're going to saute them. So I'm going to just put about a tablespoon of oil in each pan. And then I'm going to light the stove. And then we're going to start to cook. Okay. All right. So 1 minute. Jillian's going to give you a close-up of those fresh peppers while I get our pans ready here. We're also going to cook some chicken. Okay, so this way we're going to get our peppers ready. So I've got 2 pans because I've got a lot of vegetables here. So here go our peppers. Saute these peppers. And here come our orange peppers. Look at all that vitamin A and vitamin C coming along. And I'm going to just grab a spatula over here. So we're going to get those going. Stir those around a little. You may be familiar with other foods that are orange that we like to eat that are vegetables, like carrots. And I'm sure your mom has told you that carrots are good for our eyes. I always heard that from my mom growing up. Carrots are really good for our eyes because of that vitamin A, and that helps our nighttime vision. So we like to have those carrots. We're also going to saute an onion. And I have here sliced up our white onion. Onions can be red. The red onions have a special substance, an antioxidant. And that red color is actually really good for our blood vessels, helps to lower our blood pressure. The onion also has anti-inflammatory properties, which lower our blood pressure, prevent cancer, helps to prevent heart disease. And so onions can be really healthy. So we want to always include some varieties of fruits and vegetables. So we're going to cook these up a little. And then I'm going to go over while this is cooking. Let me just check the heat here. While we're sauteing these, I'm going to cut our chicken. So let me just come on over here. I'm going to pull that from the refrigerator, so I'll step out of your window for a minute. You hear those sizzling fajita peppers cooking. I hope it's making you hungry. It's going to be delicious. Okay. All right, so now that we're going to let those peppers cook for a second, here we have some chicken breast. So this is about 1 pound of chicken breast. Each breast is about 8 ounces. Our recipe will serve 4 people if you're having 2 fajitas each, or if you're having your fajita with rice and beans and a salad, you might only eat 1 fajita, in which case your recipe would make 8 servings. So I'm going to just slice this up into chicken strips so that we can saute it. When the chicken is too thick, it's hard to tell if it's cooked. So we don't want to have the chicken to be too thick. We always want to cook our chicken so there's no pink and no blood in our chicken. It's not like eating a steak where we might sometimes like to have a little red or pink in our steak.
Our chicken should be well cooked. If your family members cook with a thermometer, it should be 165 degrees. But as long as you see no pink and it's not running with any blood or juices, you know you've cooked it all the way. Okay. So, continue to slice this up, and then we're going to put this in our third pan, and we're going to saute it until it's ready to go. Chicken breast is very lean. It's the lowest fat content of any parts of the chicken. So we want to eat the chicken breast over any fatty cuts of chicken, such as the leg, the wing, or the thigh. And we like it without the skin because there's fat in the skin. Okay, so we're going to move over to our chicken pan. We've got a little bit of olive oil in there. Going to grab another spatula. So that we'll just spread that oil around so we don't burn our chicken. And then we're going to put our chicken in there. And here it goes. Try not to handle your chicken with your bare hands. If you do, you want to be very careful to wash your hands right away. You've noticed that we're using separate cutting boards for the vegetables and the chicken. Never mix your raw meat on a cutting board that you cut your vegetables. Whenever you're cutting meat on your board, you want to be sure that your board can go in the dishwasher. Wooden cutting boards are not useful for meat products that are raw. Okay, that's a really important point. Always use a plastic, glass, or other washable, dishwashable board when you're cooking with raw meat. So we're going to let that cook just a little. So notice how the chicken is turning white as it cooks. We want to make sure we get all that pink fleshy color cooked, and it should go to that white color. We're going to let that cook for a minute. This is a low-fat way of cooking our food. You'll see that there's really not any oil in the pan, so to speak of. It's a lean cut of chicken, so we only put enough oil to coat the pan so it doesn't burn. Okay. Another thing you might notice is that I've got a different spatula for my raw meat than I do for my vegetables. We don't want to go back and forth with a spatula that's in raw meat, touching our cooked vegetables. So important that we take care of preventing any bacteria from spreading from raw meat. And you know the cooking process takes away any bacteria. We want to make sure. See, there's a little pink in there. We want that all to be cooked. I can begin to smell it. So I'm going to turn on the overhead fan. If you can't hear the voiceover, just let us know and we'll turn it off. But I don't want to call the fire department while we're filming our video. So we're just going to turn that up. And if it gets too loud, you let us know. Amanda, how are we doing? Is it too loud? Amelia.
You guys are good.
Good. All right. So we're starting to see some of the chicken brown. That's just how we want it. All right. So I also like for my peppers to get a little brown. And you can see here the little bit of brown there. So we don't want to cook the peppers on a low heat because we want them to have a little browning. And we want them to be crisp. I like the peppers in a fajita to be a little crunchy, not soft and wilting. So I'm cooking them on a medium to high heat to brown them and keep their texture. All right. Perfect. Now, if you have a copy of the recipe, one of the things you might like to do is turn your oven on to heat your tortillas. So today we're using a white corn tortilla. This package has 18, but our recipe only calls for 8, so I could have some leftovers for next week. This tortilla can be used to make a quesadilla if you've had that before. You can make a wrap, a vegetable sandwich wrap, or you can use it in the fajita. So I'm not going to turn the oven on now because I'm going to really heat up the house. But if you like your fajita to be warm, you can heat your corn tortilla in the oven. If you do that, I would only put it in for about 2 to 3 minutes. If you leave it in there too long, the tortilla gets too crispy and it will break when you fold it. So it's just to warm it, not to cook it, okay? So that's always an option. We are using corn tortillas. So it is gluten-free. If anyone has an allergy and they can't eat beef, the tortillas can be wheat or corn. These are corn tortillas. I'm just going to stir up. My chicken is browning nicely. Look at that. Hearing it sizzle. Look at that. We like a little brown there. We still have some pink in there. You can see that. We want to be sure we flatten that piece of chicken so we cook them all the way. Okay. All right. So while this is cooking, let's put this guy in the middle over the cheese right there and turn him down. I want to bring you over to my seasoning. Okay. So this recipe calls for, I'm going to put my onions in too. We're getting these nice and brown. Put our onions in there because we need to cook those while we're talking. Okay. All right. So just going to put a dollop of olive oil in there so they don't burn. We're going to get these onions a little brown and crispy as well. Okay, so we're just going to toast that pan. He tried to get out. Look, he's hot in that pan. Okay, so there we go. So we're going to let those onions crisp up. We're going to give our chicken another stir. We've got a lot. This is looking great. Here we go. Look how nice and brown that is. Okay, so that's browning. I'm going to just turn down the heat on that. I'm going to take up my peppers here. They look great. Look at them starting to brown. Nice and crisp, not wilting. Great. Okay, so that looks good. So I'm going to turn that down a little. So now we're just going on to the onions. These onions are sliced in so they cook quick. Look how quick we're starting to see some browning in there. And again, moderate heat, start to brown, and then I'm going to turn them off because I don't want them to get soft and mushy. Okay, next comes our seasoning. Okay, so we have some chili powder, we have some cumin, smoked paprika, cayenne, garlic powder, and black pepper. And I do want to show you our measuring spoons. So this large one is a tablespoon. That's equal to 3 teaspoons. This is a half a teaspoon and a quarter teaspoon. It's important that you look at the size of the spoon because some of these seasonings could be very hot, like the black pepper. And if you measure with the wrong spoon, woo-ha, 5 alarm fajitas you'll have. Okay. I do want to show you when you're measuring your seasoning, if you take the top off, you can put your spoon in there. If you prefer to have a shaker top, then you have the holes. So I'm measuring. I'm going to take this off. I'm going to put my spoon in there. And when you measure, it's very important. Let me just grab a knife. Okay, that a true measure, we always level off the spoon. So that is a true teaspoon, not heaping over, okay? We put that in our bowl, and that's 1 teaspoon of smoked paprika. Okay, so now we have all of our seasoning. We have dark chili powder, we have ground cumin, smoked paprika, cayenne pepper, garlic powder, and black pepper. So all of those are measured out. We're going to mix these all together. The fun part, it's like an experiment. There we go. I'm going to mix this up. And this, it goes up so we get it mixed well. This is going to be our fajita seasoning. Okay, this is going to go over our chicken. And into the chicken, we're going to add our sauteed vegetables. Okay, here we go. Sprinkle this right over. Now, this is a little bit hot, so I would say just put a little and save some on the side for those people who like it a little more hot than others. So you can adjust the seasoning to taste. It might be too hot if you dump the whole thing in first before you taste it. So adjust it to how you like it. Just stir that up in there. Coat that chicken well. That's going to be our seasoning in there. Look at how great that looks. I wish you could smell it. That smoked paprika is giving it a little smoky flavor. Okay. Next, we're going to add in our sauteed vegetables. Here we go. Runaway pepper. And our onions, nicely browned, still crisp, not too weak or wilted. We're going to toss it together, and that's our seasoning over the chicken, mixing with the peppers and the onions. And voila. We have some chicken fajitas, beautifully seasoned. And we're going to put that into our corn tortilla. So we'll just step away here. Okay? Okay, so here we go. We're going to get these measuring spoons out of our way. We've got our plate. We're going to grab a tortilla. So as I had mentioned, you might like to warm your tortilla first. Here's our beautiful, this is a 5-inch tortilla. They do come larger. So don't buy the one that's the size of the plate. That would be a little bit too much starch. You want this. This is just bigger than my hand. When I open my hand, you can see it just covers my hand. So we're going to put our peppers and our onions and our chicken in there, and it's nicely seasoned, and there we have it. So that's our tortilla, just like that. You can add an avocado. I put cheese on everything. I like to add a little bit of cheese. You can fold it over. You can have this with some rice and beans. So this is a nice healthy meal. We've got our vegetables, our protein. You can buy, instead of the corn tortilla, I like to buy the whole wheat tortilla. That gives us a little more fiber. Today we wanted to make this a gluten-free recipe, so we chose something that didn't have wheat. So we're using the corn tortilla today. But you do have other options for that. Okay, so there you have it. That was our quick chicken fajita. And that took us about 15 minutes. So now we have time to talk a little bit more. If anyone has any questions, I'm just going to turn off our fan. It gets a little bit loud.
So, so tell me, how have you been doing during our stay at home? Have we been cooking? Are we eating more vegetables and fruits? What do you guys think? Is
So
this
you guys
for
can
us at home?
unmute your microphone if you have something to share.
Who would want to taste my fajitas?
Ooh, who wants to taste
Yeah.
it? Want to taste it? You want to taste it?
Give
Oh,
a
I know
thumbs up if you would want to taste it.
Thumbs up, lady.
Great.
Thumbs up. Good.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been like eating a lot of and vegetable.
Fantastic. What's your favorite vegetable?
Here we go.
Broccoli.
Here we go.
Broccoli.
Here.
Yeah.
Here they are. Here.
Broccoli is high in vitamin C, and it gives us a little calcium.
You've been eating a lot of.
What I ate like three cups of like
Right?
watermelon.
Watermelon. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Rich, how about you?
Watermelon is really good to keep us hydrated. So it's a great summer fruit. We always want to mix up our fruits though. We don't want to just eat one type of fruit and forget about the peaches and the strawberries and the blueberries. We want to eat all of the colors of the rainbow, which is another reason why we chose our pepper recipe today, because we had all the different colors and we talked about the different levels of vitamins. As the color change, the vitamins change. So we want you to eat all of the colors. So always try and mix it up on your plate.
Does anyone else have any other questions? Anything you want to share? What you've been eating during this time?
This is a good time to eat a lot of salads. This is June. We're coming up. Monday is June 1st. And in June, we start our farmers markets and our growing season in New Jersey. So we're going to begin to harvest strawberries locally in New Jersey in June. So if you're a strawberry fan, you can buy them local. Normally, our strawberries would come from California. Today, our peppers had come from Canada. And sometimes our peppers come from Mexico.
We eat a lot of peppers, right? Yeah.
Peppers are fantastic.
What else do you eat? Cucumbers.
Cucumbers, yes. So we're going to be going into cucumber season over the summer. July and August, we get our cucumbers coming in. They're another vegetable that's really good for us. The cucumbers we have in the United States are often grown in hot houses. Those are greenhouses. And sometimes they put wax on the cucumber. So we want to peel it. Especially if it feels waxy to you.
You could take Kalisa or one that you could take Kalisa.
Some cucumbers you can definitely eat the skin, especially if you buy them in a farmer's market or you grow them at home. But if we buy them in the winter time, those cucumbers have a wax on them to protect them and keep them moist. Anytime you're buying a fruit or a vegetable and the skin is wrinkled, that's when we have to be careful that it's beginning to dry out and it's not at the peak of freshness. So as we talked about the peppers, always look for things that are firm, not soft or mushy. Okay, so we want to choose them when they're most nutritious. If you buy peppers in the store, they will last in your refrigerator about a week. If you cook them, as we did today, and then you put them into your refrigerator, they're good for 2 or 3 days. Don't leave them in the back of your refrigerator and forget they're there, because then you'll have to throw them out. After about 3 days, we want to be careful not to eat them, because they begin to get old and stale. So we want to eat them when they're fresh. What else are we eating?
Has anyone else had anything, tried a new meal during this time? Anyone? You guys can unmute your microphone if you have something to share.
Have we had dinner yet today? What did we eat for dinner?
And basil,
What was that, Amy?
shrimp and basil and rice, the carrots.
Okay, so shrimp, rice.
Did I hear carrots?
And basil, rice and
Okay.
carrots.
Ah.
Yes,
So I want to
Yes.
share with you my little hydroponic garden, my
It's good.
countertop hydroponic garden. This is a home version to grow herbs on your counter.
up into a hill.
And this is parsley. And this is basil. This is purple, little purple seeds and flowers here, but this is basil. So we use this in tomato sauce. We use it in salads. We could put cilantro or parsley. They're similar in appearance, but they taste very different. I like to put cilantro in my fajitas and in any of my Mexican food. Cilantro makes things taste really fresh to me. I always think herbs don't keep very long. When you buy them in the grocery store, they only last really about a day or two. But when I grow this here on my counter, I can just pick it right from here and put it right into my cooking dishes, my salads, my chicken. And so I do like to use this. You can grow other kinds of herbs. We do like to do dill. That's another popular one. And mint, we just finished our mint. So we can do some fun recipes with mint. Actually, one of you did mention that you're eating a lot of watermelon. And so I like to make a watermelon salad with mint and feta cheese and red onion and put a little dressing on that made of red wine vinegar and olive oil. And that is incredibly refreshing in the summertime. So you get a little saltiness from feta cheese and a little sweet from the watermelon. It makes a really nice combination dish. And I always put cilantro in that. So I might be planting some cilantro next week when I finish with my parsley. So this is a great way to have fresh herbs in your kitchen. We also have a garden out back. We like to grow our tomatoes in the summer. We have to fight with the squirrels though, because they like to compete with us for who gets the tomatoes. So that could be a little bit frustrating. Most of the time we put the plants in and end up buying the tomatoes in the grocery store. What can you do? These squirrels live here too, right? We have to figure out how we share our space. So what else are we eating? Any other favorite foods? Does anyone cook out in the summertime? Any barbecuing?
Can I give a thumbs up if you barbecue?
At the pool pot at community. Barbecue at a community dance.
You barbecue? Okay,
At a community dance.
very cool. I saw a few thumbs up.
Okay.
You guys like to grill in the summertime?
I try to get back to room.
So we can put our vegetables on the grill as well. I know you're used to grilling the burgers and the chicken, and sometimes we grill shrimp or fish, but we can put our vegetables on the grill. We just need to baste them with a little olive oil or Italian dressing, and you can put them right on the grill. The eggplant, the zucchini, the asparagus, those are things that grill really well. I even do my red peppers on the grill, but I would only cut them in half. I wouldn't, today we had them in strips. I would just cut the pepper in half and then take out the seeds and put each half on the grill. Love to have roasted red peppers done on the grill. So that's fantastic. I'm so glad that you're taking advantage of the healthy fruits and vegetables that are coming into season now. So each time you sit down to your meal, I want you to think about how important those fruits and vegetables are. Half your plate should be fruits and vegetables. So we want to keep focusing on those because those are really the key to living a long and healthy life.
Hey Karen, since the weather has been pretty hot the last few days, we know that it's important to stay hydrated by drinking water. Do you have any tips for staying hydrated if you're not a big water fan? Do you have any sorts of tips or tricks?
Sure. So one thing I like to do is I like to add fruit to my water. I like to slice up some berries or some watermelon. And lime is one of my favorite flavors. When I have a fresh lime, I do like to put it in my water bottle. So that's really one way we can flavor our water. Something else we can do is try seltzer. If you like a little bubbly, we want to stay away from the sodas because soda really makes us dehydrated. All that sugar makes us drink more water. So it's important that we keep drinking water, and it could be seltzer, it could be flavoring the water. We could even put a little bit of juice into our bottle and have the rest of it water. We always want to limit how much sugary beverages and juices we have. We can even take our water and make some cold brewed tea with tea bags. And tea bags come in different flavors or herbal tea bags. So we can make our own infused tea. So tea can be hydrating as well. So any of those suggestions would be really great.
Thank you. And do we find water in our fruits and vegetables?
Fruits and vegetables are very high in water. For example, watermelon is 96% water. Our berries are 85 to 90% water. So when we're eating fruit, we count that as an important contribution of our diet to keeping us hydrated, but we still need to drink our water outside of our fruits and vegetables. So yes, they do provide a high amount of water to our diet.
Awesome, thank you. Does anyone else have any questions for Karen before we sign off? You could unmute, you could type it in the chat.
I'm so glad you could visit with me in my kitchen today, and I hope that we'll hear your feedback, and if there's something you'd like for us to cook or show you how to make, I'd certainly like to hear that.